All right, welcome to another live episode of geekoutdoors.com. So this week is pretty big news, specifically for creators, where we finally have IGTV or Instagram TV, and I'm going to be talking about that versus YouTube. And also the second bit of news is good news for people who are Linux or in the open source world where they actually make a living out of it. So that's going to be great news for those people. So I'll be covering that in the second half. So the very first biggest piece of news is obviously the formal introduction of IGTV or Instagram TV. Now, if you are not familiar with what that is, it's basically a video competitor to YouTube using video, basically using the existing Instagram platform. So they're basically extending the features of Instagram to really focus on video. And this is something that I have talked about for quite a while, as a matter of fact. And if you actually look at some of my older episodes, let me see, I did one back in September 7th, 2017, where I talk about how YouTube beats VidMe, Dailymotion, Vimeo. And then I did another episode in December 2nd, 2017, where VidMe shut down. And then I did an episode on February 8th, 2018, talking about Amazon Tube, basically Amazon's upcoming video creator platform. And then also I talked about on March 12th, 2018, YouTube versus DTube versus PeerTube. Okay, now this is a huge thing. And the reason why it's huge is, like I said, if you've watched any of these videos that I talked about this before, I really wasn't concerned about any of these other competitors, and I'm going to get into that, the reason why, and it pretty much repeats everything that I've said since last year, okay, and even my thoughts even before that. And the thing is, with IGTV or Instagram finally making a big push into video, this is something that truly should actually worry YouTube. And this is something that I already know that YouTube knows about, okay? And so in general, what IGTV will allow you to do is it will allow you to actually upload videos, which I already have right here. Here's my IGTV Instagram account, so you can look that up, go Geek Outdoors or Geek Outdoors. It's my very first video. And so what it will allow you to do is upload these portrait mode videos, and they must be 15 seconds to 10 minutes long. So before, if you were on Instagram or IG, you were already able to upload videos, but they were very short video clips, much like what you have on Snapchat. And so you were able to upload videos there. And the thing is, with IGTV, it's up to 10 minutes long, but if you have much larger accounts, you could upload up to 1 hour. Okay, and it must be in an MP4 format, and the maximum size is 5.4 gigs. Okay, so if you actually think about it from a technical standpoint, it's not that all impressive. I mean, it really, to me, it doesn't do much of anything better than what YouTube already offers. When it comes to a video platform, YouTube is on top, and they're on top for a reason, okay? Because, despite all the many complaints and many things that they've done wrong, they do way more things right. And if you think about the technical achievements of it, it's absolutely astounding what they're able to do. Okay, so with this being yet another competitor to YouTube, why do I think IGTV or Instagram has more of a shot than any other competitor? Well, it goes back to what I just said earlier. All these videos that I've done before about competitors, VidMe, Dailymotion, and more recently with Steemit or DTube, the reason why this company actually has a much better shot than these other companies is the same things that I talked about earlier. The biggest competitors that can actually topple YouTube, it's either going to be Facebook, and I'm going to talk about their Facebook for creators, or Amazon. Okay, and Amazon already owns Twitch, by the way. And if you didn't know, Instagram is owned by Facebook. Okay, and so that is a huge thing, because these other platforms, the reason why the chances of them succeeding is pretty much, I would say, next to nothing. I mean, to be real with you, because a lot of people come on these platforms, they think that all you need to do, and it's just being real, all they need to do is focus on the creators and that's it. That's what's gonna give you the leg up over platforms like YouTube. But the reality is you need traffic, you need people coming to your website, and I guarantee you there's way more people coming to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Amazon than there will ever be coming to Steemit or DTube. That's first and foremost. Secondly is the fact that you need money. You need a lot of money to compete. And it's not just the fact that you need money to actually do the marketing or everything else, but think about the technical aspects of running something like YouTube, where you get over 1 billion views or more per day. You have hundreds of millions of channels. You have billions of people all around the world using your actual platform. That's probably going to cost a ton of money. Okay, and that is something that you cannot deny. That's why whenever I talk about actual competitors that could compete with YouTube, it's going to be Facebook, Amazon, and maybe to a lesser extent Apple, because Apple really hasn't got into the content creator game. And I'm leaving Microsoft out there is because they don't really have a presence in the whole video creator arena. Okay, that's why I kind of leave them out of that. Okay, even though they do have the money. Okay, and so that's the second thing. You need to have a lot of money to actually run all of this. Okay, and then the final thing is you need a way to create money. You need a way to monetize this, and all of these platforms have ways to monetize it. Google, as you know, they have Google AdWords, okay, which is I use Google AdWords. So I'm a digital marketer. And Facebook, they have Facebook ads, and I use Facebook ads. This is Facebook ads right here, and I'm going to get into this a little bit further. Okay, so that's why, despite people who are saying Steemit or DTube or any of these other platforms, they're going to overtake YouTube. No, they won't, because they don't have those other things. Whereas Instagram, being owned by Facebook, they do have that. And also they have over 1 billion users monthly now. Okay, so, and that's only growing. And so all of this really leads to, you know, in the end, it really leads to this. It leads to the marketing part of it. Okay, now obviously Instagram or Facebook, it's going to really pitch the fact that this is for creators. Okay, this is going to be a creator-centric platform, and that's the big marketing push that all these companies are going to do right now, because more and more YouTube is, and we've known this, is YouTube is really straying away from individual creators. Okay, there's more towards the ones that are actually making them the most money, you know, which is mostly the much bigger companies. And that makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. I mean, they do have a business that they run. And at the same time, you know, a lot of what people watch, it's entertainment based. Okay, that's the reality. It's entertainment, sports, news, the same thing that people enjoyed on TV before there was the internet. Okay, and so that's why YouTube is heading that way. And even though Instagram is touting this as a creators platform where when you log in, you're going to see only things from your creators, pretty similar to what YouTube had at the beginning, at some point, they're going to have to monetize it. Okay, so right now, IGTV does not pay their content creators. Okay, so I have mentioned this before. YouTube is the best platform, in my opinion, if you actually want to get paid for creating stuff. Okay, because if you are on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, any of these other platforms which billions of people use every single day, they don't pay you. Now, Facebook has started a Facebook creators program, but it's not there yet. You know, it's still in the works. And once again, Facebook owns Instagram. And so eventually they will trickle down this Facebook creators program down to IGTV. So that's inevitable. So they're going to do that so that they can actually, obviously, take people away from YouTube. And the big fish, Amazon with Twitch, they are already doing that, but they don't have a medium yet just for creators outside of Twitch, even though, you know, you can go create content on Twitch right now. And Twitch is, I think, not there yet when it comes to something similar to YouTube, okay, because it's still really gaming centric, but they are providing other different content. But eventually, whenever Amazon releases Amazon Tube, then it's going to be a real big competitor, okay? But right now, the biggest competitor at this point, it's going to be Facebook, i.e. IGTV, okay? And so that's why this is so important. And that's why I'm on Instagram right now. I mean, I'm pretty much going to transition over from Snapchat over to IGTV or Instagram, because that platform, I have done a video about this many months ago, and if you are on Snapchat, I haven't been posting much because that platform's dying. Okay, because Instagram pretty much does a lot of what Snapchat does, and it does it better. Okay, and so that's why I've moved over to IGTV. So you're probably going to see more and more stuff on IGTV. Of course, YouTube is still my main platform. That's my go-to platform for many reasons. But IGTV is definitely one that I'm going to be using more instead of Snapchat. And then later on, whenever Amazon Tube comes on, I'm going to be on there as well. Hey, good morning, Penguins of Gaza. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so I've already talked about the realistic reasons why Steemit or DTube or any other competitors will not be able to compete, because they don't have those things that I talked about earlier. You know, and it's just to be real, y'all, this is nothing about privacy or creator independence or anything like that. I mean, although those are nice things, at the end of the day, there needs to be a business model behind it. They have to make money to keep this stuff running. Steemit, DTube, they might end up like VidMe, because you need money. Okay, you need money. Okay, that's bottom line. You need a way to monetize it. You need a way to market it. Okay, and that's leads me to Facebook marketing. Okay, so all of this stuff that Instagram, IGTV, Facebook is doing right now, same thing Amazon is doing with Twitch. They're focused on the creators for the marketing, but in the end, they have to make money out of it. And the way they're going to make money out of it is through ads or selling their services. Okay, so this is a Facebook ad, just for people who've never seen this before. And so I have shown this in other videos, mainly through Google AdWords, and also I have shown some videos of Facebook ads. But let me show you why this is important. Okay, so for people who've never done ads before, do digital marketing, this might not make sense. But I want to show you how you see your ads, and I want to show you why it's important that IGTV and everything that Facebook is doing leads to this. This is why it's important. So whenever you set up an ad, okay, you set up a campaign, you set up an ad set, and the ad set is actually where all your targeting happens. Okay, and so the ad set and then the ads. Okay, so this is for people who are not familiar with this, but this is important. Okay, so if you go down here, hey, good morning, Lance, thanks for joining. So if you go down here on the targeting, I didn't do a lot of really specific targeting here. Okay, you could do some really advanced stuff, and this is why data is so important. Okay, and obviously Google, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, they have a ton of data, but when it comes to targeting, in my opinion, I think Facebook has the best targeting. Okay, they absolutely have the best. And the thing is, Facebook data, they collect everything from Instagram as well. Because when you come down here, you see here the placement, check it out. Instagram, okay? And so this is huge. Right now, and it has been for a while now, you could, any ads that you see in Instagram is done through Facebook ads. But this right here with IGTV, they're gonna get even more data, much like what YouTube does. I mean, if you do Google AdWords, there's so much data that you could get. And so anytime you come to YouTube, they're collecting stuff, okay, period. Even if you don't come to YouTube, they're collecting stuff. Facebook does the same thing. But they do it, in my opinion, they do it on a way more granular level. Let me show you real quick. So if you were to do targeting, right? So let's just do targeting, okay? So check this out. This is the stuff that people don't see, who don't do stuff behind the scenes. And I'm showing you this right now. So you can understand that if you are on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Amazon, Twitch, whatever, this is what's happening behind the scenes. You're on Twitter, it doesn't matter, okay? This is what's happening. So you're seeing ads, right? They're collecting data on you, right? So how is this actually being used? Well, check this out. And this is, it could get super complex. I'll just let you know. We could break it down by education. Okay, your education level. I could break it down by how much money you make, your income, net worth. I could break it down by what you do in your life, different life events, your friends. I could find people who are not even your friends. I could find people like you. Look at this, long distance relationships, by your parents. And if you are the type of person who loves watching news and politics, man, a lot of politics here. We could find out exactly what type of relationship that you're in, work, interests, anything. I mean, Facebook has just an insane amount of data, and this isn't even drilling down. There's other stuff here. Like if I go to there's even like third-party data as well. Let me see if that's here. Yeah, I don't have this available for my account, but you could actually get like third-party data from much bigger companies. Like you could buy data from Oracle and other companies like that, where you could get some advanced, even more advanced detailed data. And so this is what it's really all about, y'all. Okay. And so despite all of these platforms talking about their creators, and the thing is, I love these platforms. I love YouTube. I love all of these platforms. Okay. Because without YouTube, I wouldn't be talking to you. And without YouTube or platforms like it, like Instagram or Facebook or Twitch, most people would only be able to do a 9-to-5 job. They would not be able to be an entrepreneur. Okay, so I want to put that out there. I do not hate these platforms, but at the same time, I don't have to like everything about it. Okay, and so I do digital marketing, and so the fact that I'm able to see this, I understand what's going on behind the scenes, and I have an appreciation for it. But also at the same time, I understand a lot of stuff is creepy. Okay, it's super creepy because that's why people who are so big on privacy, they don't understand what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, and I'm just going to be real with you, because a lot of people who scream about privacy and so forth, they're not a marketer. They only understand what they understand because the news is giving that to them. And if they didn't realize it, a lot of the news companies are owned by these same companies. They're owned by big multi-billion-dollar companies. Okay, so unless you're in it like this, you won't really understand how this is being used. Okay, and so that's why a lot of times when I do these videos, I want to educate people on what's really going on behind the scenes. And then I would recommend that you actually do some marketing, do some content creation. So then it's not just like I'm mad because of privacy, but that you actually understand how all this stuff works. Okay, and so so that's why this thing is so big. Okay, and obviously for me, I'm gonna leverage these platforms. Okay, I'm not one of those people who hate marketing, who hate sales, because I know that that's essential for businesses, governments, for people to have jobs, for entire countries to operate. There needs to be commerce. There needs to be business. Okay, and so I understand the importance of that. Okay, but at the same time, as you understand this stuff more, I think that it gives you a better understanding, and also, I would say most of the times you don't get emotionally triggered, by whenever you hear news about privacy and all this other stuff. Okay, just accept things for the way that they are. You don't have to accept everything. Okay, and then adapt. Okay, and so adapt and understand where things are heading. Where things are heading is towards more and more video. And I could tell you that 100% because this has been happening in the marketing world for years. If you do any type of ads, okay, and this has been going on, like I said, for a long time in both Google AdWords, in Facebook ads, it's been happening in Bing ads, in Yahoo, Twitter ads, all of them. They've been pushing video for years now. So what I mean by that is whenever you see posts on Facebook or ads, they're going to give more juice to video. That's why if you look at my channel, I have a lot of videos on how to be a content creator and how to do video and stuff and how to do marketing, because those are the core principles of all of these platforms. If you don't know video, you better learn now. If you don't know marketing, you better learn now. That's only if you want to actually make a living out of this. Okay, if you want to make a living off the internet, you better learn video and you better learn digital marketing, period. Because you would not survive in this new world. Okay, it's not like before where you would actually put out a viral cat video and all of a sudden it would go crazy and you could make money out of it. No, that's not the way it works anymore. It's more focused on content marketing. It's more focused on your marketing skills, your business skills. And so, and that's why I really pointed out that most of these social platforms, which YouTube is a social platform, YouTube is the only one who pays out money, and a significant amount of money. Let me say it again. It's not the only one that pays out money. Obviously, Twitch, Facebook for creators. But what I'm saying is there is no other platform that makes it as easy for you to make money, because even on Twitch, you still need people to donate to you, right? Okay, so YouTube, in my opinion, it's still the easiest platform for you to make money off of your creations. Despite all the people who are complaining, then why don't you try to make money off of Instagram or Facebook purely off your content and not doing any other things, just off of ads? Yeah, you probably won't make much money. Okay, and then if you go to Steemit or DTube, they're nice and all, but there's not very many people making a full-time living, I don't think, on these platforms versus something like YouTube. Okay, and so that is something that I really wanted to talk about, because as a creator, as a marketer, this is an important thing. Okay, and you as the consumer, if you are only a consumer, just understand that you're going to see more video, period, on every single platform. And it is something that is not stopping. And then whenever they expand into television, like for example, YouTube has, you know, their YouTube live TV, right? And so I don't think that's been a success yet, but Apple TV, and then Facebook, including with Instagram, and Amazon's already in the video platform. They have Amazon Prime, but they're going to keep expanding into video. And so in the future, or it's already happening anyway, you know, you're watching TV, if you have a smart TV, right, you'll see ads. I mean, or you will. It'll be integrated all together. Integrate with all these other platforms. We're already used to seeing ads on our mobile, you know, devices, right? But just think about it this way. Whenever I'm buying ads, I can have this ad show up everywhere. You see this? See this? Mobile, desktop, and TV. So whatever you're seeing right now, marketers, people who do business, we already been doing this for a long time. We're the ones serving you up these ads. And so they already have TV here. Okay, and so it's going to be absolutely everywhere. For people. And so this here's the video optimization. So here I'm not even targeting a lot, and I could target 2.2 million people, but I could go all around the world with these ads. And so it's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, but I will say I am excited about IGTV because obviously Facebook has a ton of money, and I know what Facebook does behind the scenes. And so I know that if you wanted to use this platform for business, you know, you want to make money out of it, you want to make a living out of it, then this is another viable platform. Okay, so that's a good thing. So if you are a content creator and you really feel like you don't have an option with YouTube, or your options are being more limited, and you don't want to go on Twitch, well, IGTV is another option. Obviously, you can still go to Steven and DTube, but as I just stated earlier, realistically, this isn't where you're going to make your money. Okay, and obviously, if you are doing this to make a living, it's not just making money off of that platform. You have to do a lot of things in order to be successful on any of these platforms, and it's definitely getting more and more challenging by the day. Okay, and so if you are on Instagram, you are on IGTV, look me up on Go Geek Outdoors or Geek Outdoors. What I'm going to do, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is I'm going to transition from Snapchat over to IGTV. And so whatever I was doing with Snapchat before, I'm going to do that on IGTV. Obviously, YouTube is still my main platform. This is my favorite platform. I love YouTube. It's done so much for me and many millions of other people. But I definitely keep my eyes open on other platforms where it makes sense. Obviously, my main platform is my own website. Okay, that is the one that eventually I want people to go to, but obviously these other platforms do a way better job than me. Okay, and so but anyways, so that's my talk of IGTV versus YouTube. I really do feel that in terms of competition, this is it. This is IGTV. It's a huge step, and even though Instagram is owned by Facebook, the CEO of IGTV Instagram, he is the co-founder of Instagram. So they still have some autonomy from Facebook for the most part. But at the end of the day, they're all tied into Facebook ads. Okay, it's all about the marketing, the business part of it in the end. Okay, just realize that. And that's why I wanted to show you this today. Okay, so whatever they're showing you on the news, on the media, that's only one part. This is the real stuff. This is what it's all about. It's about the business part of it, okay? And of course, they want to take care of their creators. Of course, okay? I understand that. I don't want to say that it's all about the money, because if they don't take care of their creators, for the most part, they take care of two groups of people. First is the people buying their ads, okay? Despite what creators think that they're the most important thing, I'm sorry, you're not the most important thing. The most important thing are people doing business with them, okay? So they're always going to be priority number one. because creators are not the ones spending billions of dollars on ads. Okay, that's the reality. I don't care what platform that you're on. In the end, it's always going to be about the businesses, institutions spending the most money. And if you own a business, they would be your most important people as well, because they keep you, keep your lights on. They keep you feeding your family. Okay, so that's always going to be priority number one. Priority number two is the creators. Okay, so now with YouTube, YouTube is going through a lot of challenges right now. They're not going to go out of business or anything. I'm not saying that. Okay, but their competitors are seeing something that YouTube is not serving anymore. Before, YouTube would be all about the individual creators, the smaller creators. And when I mean small, I don't mean like thousands of subscribers. I'm saying small as compared to, something like this, like the Tonight Show or something, okay? You know what I'm saying, or the Saturday Night Live, okay? They're a lot bigger than any individual content creator. And so since YouTube has matured and it's really gone away from that, then that leaves other competitors like Instagram or Twitter or whatever other platform, Twitch, Amazon's Twitch, to actually come in and serve their creators. But eventually, my prediction, because you already see that happening, eventually what's going to happen is, right now with IGTV, they say it's all about the creators. They're going to show you stuff that you subscribe to, okay? But in the end, what's going to happen is they're going to start serving you ads in the future, okay? Once they collect more data out of you, and then once they grow their user base for this platform. That's what's going to happen in the end. And so that's why I say YouTube, it's already been through that, because at the beginning, they were all about the creators. They didn't have as many businesses and institutions buying ads for YouTube, but now they are. Okay, and obviously, if you're on Facebook, there's already a ton of ads. Okay, and so that's just going to be a natural transition. So right now, what Instagram and IGTV is doing, and Amazon is doing the same thing. Okay, right now they're just basically building up their user base for IGTV. That's what they're doing. Okay, but eventually it's going to end up like this. Eventually, okay, because obviously we're buying ads. Okay, so that is my thoughts on IGTV versus YouTube. Just be prepared for more videos, and also be prepared for more ads. Okay, that's plain and simple. You're going to see way more ads, and of course you could take measures to not get ads, but you could spend your lifetime trying to stop data collecting and ads, because the stuff that these companies are doing, they're extremely sophisticated, and I just showed you that. I don't care how good you think you are at security. They have the smartest people in the world at these companies. They have thousands, millions of developers all around the world, and they have AI. And so if you think that you're going to be private, it's going to be hard, really hard. Even if you go to something like the dark web, who do you think's in the dark web spending all their money? It's companies like Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Apple. They're already there. Okay, and so anyway, not to be morbid, IGTV, I think it's going to be an exciting thing. It is another platform I'm going to try out. And like I said, I'm going to pitch this more and more in future videos. If you are on Instagram or IGTV, check me out there. And if you're on Snapchat, I'm sorry for all the people who are on Snapchat. I didn't have that many people on Snapchat anyway. I am transitioning over to Instagram. So enough of the marketing news. Let's go ahead and get to the second bit of news. And this is related, kind of, by the way, because I did do a video on this. So on a recent jobs report, okay, by actually Linux Foundation, I'll get into this, the demand for Linux and open source jobs is higher than ever. Okay, so this was a report done by the Linux Foundation along with DICE, which is a job site, and they're talking about how 87% of hiring managers are having trouble finding open source talent. So let me go directly to the article that they're talking about, okay? And if you notice, the Linux Foundation has been in the news a lot lately. Why? Because they have a great marketing team. That's why. So they're pitching out news and stuff that's all related. Great marketing for the Linux Foundation. And so let's look at some of these stats. Okay, so open source talent is priority. 83% of hiring managers, increase of 76% in 2017. Awesome. So Linux is back on top as the most in-demand open source skill category. Containers like Kubernetes, that's open source. 57% hiring managers, IT pros. Okay, so check this out. So you can actually get this report, but you have to join the email list first to get the free report. And so 80% of hiring managers are recruiting Linux talent. 3% of open source pros says money is the best part of their job. Okay, so 87% of hiring managers are having a hard time recruiting. Okay, so basically the need for it is way higher than what the market offers. Okay, and if you go to a job site and I typed in Linux, okay, this is at Indeed.com. There's like 70,470 jobs. Okay, now I did do a video on this a long time ago, or a few months ago, where I talked about digital marketing allows you to make money and Linux saves you money. And I'm still in that camp, because I really feel if you actually want to make money, I feel like digital marketing is the better outlet. But there's definitely jobs in Linux and open source. Okay, so for people who are really into Linux and open source, meaning they're not just content creators, okay? Because I create content, I have Linux content, but I am not a Linux expert, and I'm not an open source expert, okay? And so a lot of people who work in Linux and open source, they're normally not YouTube content creators. If you look at all the, I wouldn't say all, but if you look at most of the Linux channels, most of them do not make a living off of Linux and open source. Most of them, they'll make their money off of being a content creator, producing Linux content, okay? Now, the people who actually do Linux and open source for a living, they're actually looking at different things, okay? They're looking at the core technical skills that are required. And the reason why I say Linux and open source is related to everything that I talked about earlier is because all of these platforms run on some type of servers, right? They all have technical stuff underneath. And the majority of the servers run on Linux and other open source tools and Unix and so forth. So the funny thing is, as these platforms grow and make more money, that means the demand for actual Linux and open source job is going to increase as well, because all those servers, all the networking, all the people employed, they're not going to do it by itself, okay? So you need people with the right skills to do that, okay? Gaza's saying time to head over Linux Academy for Linux certs. Yeah, if you are not familiar with what Gaza is talking about, you can actually get training through the Linux Foundation, or there's so many places you can get it, but to get certified, okay? And I think this is a huge thing, okay? Because like as I was talking about earlier, you could make money with your Linux and open source skills. And this has been around for a long time now. It's just that now with all these other platforms, the demands for this, you need really technically highly skilled people to run all these platforms, okay? All the stuff happening underneath, like Amazon Web Services, they pretty much run on Ubuntu servers, okay? The majority of it, okay? That's all Linux, right? And so, and then all the programming, all the APIs, there's a lot of technical stuff underneath it. And the majority of people who are the most technical are usually people in the Linux and open source space, okay? And so the salaries have actually been going up, okay? And what I'll try to do, I'll try to link my video that I talked about digital marketing versus Linux somewhere in a card, or maybe I'll put in the description area below. But it's steadily increasing, which is great. And I will say one thing, because I have been in the technology industry for a long time now. You're gonna have to, you're actually gonna have to have real skills, okay? I'm just gonna put it out there, because in order for you to get these Linux admins jobs, system admins jobs, or open source jobs, yeah, you're gonna need some skills, man. You're gonna need experience. I don't think this is something that you could jump in like in a few months. You know, now you can take a boot camp though. You can take a boot camp to accelerate your skills in certain areas. But for most of these jobs, if you've ever worked at any of these large companies, they're gonna want to see proof, and most of the times they want to see experience. Okay, so for any of you out there who see this and think like, hey man, you know, I actually want to start getting into the Linux and open source as a career, or even you could use it as a business, you're gonna have to start learning, okay? But I will say that it's like in such high demand. I still think, obviously, and you can do job searches. Digital marketing is, in my opinion, it's way more in demand than this, for sure, okay? But like I said, I talked about that in my other video. But for people who loves Linux, love open source, this is a great time, and the demand for these skills, it is not going to go down. It's going to continually going up, because there's more platforms, more people on devices that require internet access. It's just going to get crazy. And so check out some of these Linux jobs, okay? And these are for people who are skilled. $55 an hour. That's a junior Linux administrator. Okay, so let's see what the job requirements are. Okay, let me see how many years. Okay, so this one's not too bad. $55 an hour. That's a pretty good amount of money. Now, this is a contract position, so usually contract positions, they will pay you more because they don't have to pay for retirement or health benefits, okay? And so 2 years experience as a system administrator, that's not too bad, 2 years. But check out all these other skills that they need, okay? Puppet, Chef, Ansible, SaltStack, Nagil, Splunk, ELK, programming background, Born, CSH, Python, Ruby, C++. So let's look at another one. AIX, that is Unix. But, if you could use Unix, you can use Linux. Okay, so yeah, so all of these things, 7 years experience, minimum of 5 years with IBM AIX, Linux administration and support. They want a master's degree. Here's another Linux administrator, $70,000 to $80,000 a year. 4 years experience, Linux installation, 4 years experience. So as I just stated, you're going to need some experience. Okay, so I highly recommend that if you are a younger person and you want to get into Linux and open source as a career, or you can even use this as for your business as well, start learning now. Get your certifications like Gaza said, but the most important thing, you need to get real world experience. Because in my opinion, school, academic education, it's good, but it does not beat out real world experience. No amount of academic education is going to prepare you for the real world, because in the real world you don't get measured by the grades you could get that's controlled by a system that will reward you for getting good grades. You get paid for results, and you're competing against the whole world, and you're competing against artificial intelligence and robotics. Okay, so I would highly recommend, if you want to get into this, get real world experience right now. Start learning this online. Start setting up your own servers if you want to get into Linux administration. If you want to get into programming, you saw some of the programming requirements there. They're pretty high. Okay, so, just start doing it, period. This is something that will definitely help you in the future, because I could easily see, if you had about 5 to 7 years experience, you could probably make 6 figures or more. But wow, look at these requirements. That's a lot of skill set. So yeah, so these types of roles, they're really for highly technically skilled people. Okay, so anyway, all of that takes time, because whenever I did the whole corporate thing when I started, I was in a very technical field, and so it required more technical skills. At my point, at this point in my life right now, I'm nowhere near as technically adept as I used to be. Okay, I mean, I understand stuff, but I would not be the right person to do this, because man, this stuff is complicated. I would not be able to do any of this anymore, not even close. Before, when I first started my career, I was an Oracle database administrator, and I worked on a Unix platform. I worked on IBM AIX, HP UX primarily, and Sun Solaris. So that's what I worked on. And in terms of the programming language that we use, for me, I wasn't a programmer, but I used a lot of POSQL shell scripts, and we also did some C, C++, and Java. But then as I moved on to different departments, we used so many different things. It's absolutely crazy. And so I'm very thankful that I had that experience, because it was something I never would have understood unless I worked in it. And so Lance is saying, all the development needs people doing the jobs. That is why I regularly donate to the distro I use, Linux Mint. We need to support these awesome projects. Absolutely. And what Lance is talking about is, if you, and I hate to do this, I hate to separate it out, okay, but that's how my mind kind of works. If you're primarily just a user or a consumer of Linux and open source stuff, be sure to help support them, okay? And I have made a video about this before, and I always talk about this whenever I get a chance. If there is an open source project that you use and that you really value, go ahead and donate to them. Okay, and like I said, I have done a video about this before, where I donate to the open source projects that I enjoy using, and I want to give back to them, because most of these people who do these open source projects, they're doing this for free. They're not getting paid any money. Okay, and if they do get money, it's very little. And so it's not like these jobs where they're using these same skills and they're making obviously more money, but they deserve to get paid this money because they've developed these skills. And so for all the Linux and open source projects, help them out, because I don't think the majority of people are getting paid $55 an hour to work on an open source project, and then then users are getting all of this for free. And so if you can help out these projects, because there are people behind it. There are people who still have to take care of their families, who still have to make a living, still have to put food on the table. So help them out. If you're getting a lot of value out of this, do that. Okay. Thanks, Lance, for bringing that up. And so anyway, I think this is an awesome thing. I really am happy because of the fact that it gives people who are using Linux and open source tools, right? It gives them an opportunity to use it in other areas. Okay, and even if they wanted to go work at these larger companies, which most of these Linux open source jobs, it's going to be at these larger companies. Okay, it's going to be at a Facebook, at a Google. Okay, it's going to be at Amazon, and they could use those skills in many different areas. They could do it for freelancing. They could use it for open source projects like Linux Mint. And so these skills are very, very valuable, and they will continue to become more valuable in the future because of the needs of all these platforms like Instagram. Okay, and so yeah, so it's a great thing. I'm very happy to hear this news, because at the time when I was in the whole corporate field, even though we had Linux and open source back then, it wasn't as big as it is now. And so basically people doing these really highly technical jobs, they weren't getting paid much. You know what I mean? But nowadays they're getting paid more, and rightfully so. It requires a lot. So anyways, that is my episode today. I hope that it wasn't too much of a ranty thing, because I really feel that these things are important. They're important not only from a point of view where, obviously I'm kind of biased because I am in this behind the scenes, but at the same time, I think also as people who are using these services, it's good for you to kind of have an understanding of what's going on underneath. Okay, but at the same time, you also have an understanding of where things are heading. Okay, so then you could better predict and adapt whenever these things happen, okay, because they will happen. And also at the same time, when you have this knowledge, you have these skills, you could develop them, you could actually do something that'll help your life with them, okay? And so that's why I always talk about these things. I talk about content creation. I talk about marketing, okay? I talk about the technical stuff in terms of how this could actually help you in your life. Okay, and so all of these things will help you in your life. It will help you have a better life. It'll help you take care of your family and the people that you love. Okay, so that's why whenever you see me talk about these things, and sometimes you see me get emotional about it, or really ranty sometimes, it's because I want to express to you how these things can really truly change your life. Okay, and YouTube, all these other things that I learned from the internet, they've truly changed my life. And hopefully if you do watch these videos, that you might get inspired, okay, or you might think differently about the things that you're using every day, and maybe apply it in other different areas. Okay, so anyways, that is it for this particular episode. And I'm gonna pitch my IGTV one more time if you haven't gotten sick of it yet. If you are on Instagram or IGTV, look me up. Go Geek Outdoors, Geek Outdoors. I will be posting more videos there regularly. And so before I go, I want to thank both Gaza, Penguins of Gaza now, let me get that right, and also Lance for joining. Thank you as always. Y'all have always been there to support me. And I also want to thank everybody else that is watching now or later, because obviously time is the most valuable asset that we have. And I appreciate you spending the time here with us, geeking out and having these discussions. And so if you had any other thoughts on anything we talked about today, whether it's IGTV versus YouTube, whether it's new jobs in Linux and open source, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to subscribe. And if you did want to support my channel further, you could do that at patreon.com/geekoutdoors.